Whitney Webb is one of the dauntless few. Now, I've had the privilege of interviewing her. Now, that interview is only on Rumble because I'm 100% certain. And it was a smart move. 100% certain that if that interview went on YouTube, we would have, we probably would have been hit with something. Okay. All right. So there you go. There you go. That's what I want to point out here. Okay. But what I find fascinating is that there's this ongoing attack against her from those on the right. Now, the thing is, Whitney Webb has been on point for a lot of her content. And I've seen her interviews on a lot of people's shows on the left and on the right. She was on the Jimmy Dore show. She was on a few other people's shows as well. And she's been consistent. Now, I don't like it when somebody's being, being accused of giving trash data or either that trying to mislead her audience. I personally believe that she's been doing a good job. It takes a lot of courage for her to do what she's doing, and plus she's got a personal life as well, raising a family, all of that good stuff. So let's talk about this because I think everybody's going to be talking about this because Whitney Webb's been on point for a lot of stuff. So if you haven't been following her, I encourage all of you, uh, to at least follow her. So let's go ahead and pull this up here so that way all of you can see firsthand. So this kind of took place yesterday. Whitney Webb, I know you love to try and dunk on me, previously over critical comments on Elon Musk, who you love to shimp for. But the U.S. did increase funding to Gavi after the World Health Organization withdrew, and Trump publicly praised Gavi the same months he took the U.S. out of the World Health Organization in 2020 and promoted the partnership with them. I never claimed U.S. funding for Gavi, only stated that after the World Health Organization withdrawal in 2020, that would be your misleading claim, just so we're clear. The funding that had been for the World Health Organization was used to boost Gavi's funding and help finance Operation Warp Speed. Remember that? Wasn't that a lot of fun? Good to know. That's what you're carrying water for. Also, other have covered this in detail at the time. Like again, a few other people here. So please check out Derek Bronze and a few other people. But see, again, we're looking at this right here. Your favorite black pill dealer, Whitney Webb. Oh my goodness, I didn't know Whitney Webb was in the pharmaceutical industry. Here was more trash data and vague insinuations. In this episode, she claims Trump redirected World Health Organization funding to Gavi. In reality, she is asserting that unrelated funding from U.S. aid to Gavi was made because of the withdrawal from the World Health Organization, to which she corrected here in her tweet, which I read out earlier. But of course, other people kind of went after her as well. Whitney Webb is a black pill artist with a bot army and a live troll army. Well, a bot army indicates that it's just like fake people, and a troll army, I mean, sometimes, look, with a troll army, you really have to have a lot of dedication to have people do that for you. Okay, it's none of that adds up. Whitney Webb's content has been organic, and she has been on many people's platforms. Having a bot army and a troll army, that's a huge accusation. You got to have proof for that, and many odd munchkins behind her, plus lots of other curious resources. Follow how she does her thing for a while. Her techniques are simple. No one is as radical and brave as Whitney. No one sees the deep layers like Whitney. Optimists and enthusiasts and people who get a little upbeat about any non-Whitney approved leader or figure are policy or dupes. They might be secret agents of the super quadruple mega crypto Zion deal, Musk, left, right, everything octopus that only Whitney is truly opposing on this godforsaken, tokenized, commodified, poison for profit, etc. earth of ours. Follow the responses to this post if you want to see what I'm talking about, and don't ever let her bum you out or turn you against one another or cause you to suddenly lose faith in people you used to like or trust before Whitney, the only true seeress, came along. Well, I think it's important to be critical of people like Trump and Elon Musk. But see, they're not the only two. I think it's important to be critical of everybody. You have to be critical of everybody. You have to question everything. Okay? You have to challenge the establishment. Simple as that. You have to look at everyone in position of power with a raised eyebrow because they all have an agenda. Everyone has a plan. Everyone always has a plan. That's how it's always been done. All right. But I just want to pull this up here. The black pill smear is the new conspiracy theorist smear for when someone wants to dismiss inconvenient facts without engaging with them. Exhibit A. But the dots, Walter, the dots, they all connect. Here we go. They all connect. This is another person going after Whitney Webb. They all connect, and once you see the picture, you'll know with certainty that there is no hope, no rational plan, no approach, because nothing is beyond their control. Walter, nothing. Nothing, and no one. Get it? The only rational approach is, again, a total paralytic cynicism. So it's not having cynicism. It's just more of, hey, we're royally screwed in a system that is messed up. And I want to pull up a couple people here in the other chat right here. Comrade Misty Putin argued the point she made or shut the F up. From Comrade Misty, much love to her. Can you refute her claims? If not, you're just projecting your anger and fear onto her because deep down you know she's right. If people stop being scared and recognize no person in position of power is coming to save us, then we would organize ourselves. And let me be clear, no one in Washington, D.C. is going to get on horseback to save you. We're on our own. Okay. Now, yes, are there some elected leaders that are truly fighting for the people? Yeah. No, they exist. They're rare unicorns, but they exist, but they're not perfect because, again, no one is perfect. Perfection is just a myth. But for the most part, we're on our own. Notice, again, prime example. Notice how quick the establishment system at the state or federal level is quick to demand money from you, like taxes. But when you're owed a refund or money supposed to come to you, oh, does it take its time to get to you? The system moves so freaking slow. But yet, Washington, D.C. is going to help you. Don't you see you have to question everything? You have to challenge everything. One other thing here, too. I want to pull this up here. The shout out to Caitlin Johnstone. It's an admission of ignorance to call someone black-pilled or negative just because they oppose mainstream imperial parties. To say you can't vote your way out of tyranny is not to say it's hopeless. It's just saying your jailer isn't going to hand you the keys to your cell. Shout out to Caitlin Johnstone. She does a lot of great work. Also want to pull this up here. Shout out to, once again, Whitney Webb. It's fascinating, and this happened today, that a few years ago, some people who welcomed the view, which I still hold, that both parties are corrupt and should be scrutinized, now shriek at me and trying to discredit my work, saying I hate everyone. No, she doesn't hate everyone. She's just She's just doing her job and being critical. I've been told, just real quick, I've had people call me a communist and I've had people call me a fascist. Now, I am neither one of those two things. And at the same time, I have people say, "Oh, you're a Democrat. Oh, you're a secret Republican." No, I'm neither of those two things either. I criticize both parties because both parties deserve criticism. I believe in getting money out of politics. I support third parties. I believe in citizen ballot initiatives. These are things that I've been very consistent about. Now, occasionally, if a politician does the right thing, it's even though it's a rare moment, excuse me, I'll acknowledge it. But I'm going to call out both parties because both parties need to be called out for their decades upon decades of corruption and abuse of power. Both parties have dynastic families that work together because they're friends. They are friends. George Carlin was right. St. George was correct in calling out the system. It's one big club, and you ain't in it, and you never will be in it. And it's abundantly clear that all politicians, no matter what party they're in, take their marching orders from the lobby groups, Wall Street, and big banks. Now, I want to continue with the rest of this tweet. Everyone is not the American corrupt political class and small handful of big tech billionaires. Social media has created a myopic view for some, as those politicians and tech barons are more algorithmically boosted than everyday people. Podcast influencers who have proximity to those tech barons seem to propagate this view, but I assure you it's false. Don't tell me I don't have solutions, which I do offer in nearly every interview I give, when the solution you will accept is to vote either Democrat or Republican every 4 years. It's team sports that have gotten us nowhere except in a terrible bind, and I'm not going to pick up the habit again to pander to a particular demographic or court donors. Again, very good for her. I just want to pull up another thing here, too. This is a partial response to tweets from Brett Weinstein yesterday, and I would also like to know what works of mine propagate false claims about him, as he alleges. If it was that he is, in fact, has watched Ren and Stimpy, I'm happy to apologize for that oversight. Only a handful of people can remember Ren and Stimpy, but okay, there you go. I reject his view that me not supporting the Trump campaign this cycle means I'm backing Goliath, by which I assume he means the powers that be. Frankly, my view is that the powers that be benefit the more we voluntarily consent to participate in the electoral political spectacle and outsource our power to untrustworthy politicians. Words I agree with. Thinking that is our only hope is the real black pill. In my own opinion, happy to debate this or any other point with Brett or Walter anytime. People who say I'm so negative all the time, in my own opinion, are really saying that I'm not being positive enough about the incoming administration. Not having rose colored glasses about the second term president when they have 4 years of political precedent that is questionable at best behind them does not make me a negative perma doomer. We just have different opinions about a particular political brand. I can assure you I'm actually optimistic and quite happy. I derived that happiness from spending time with my friends and family, as you should, and the beautiful place I call home. I would happily stuff my feed with pictures and anecdotes, but it's honestly not smart or safe to do so in today's world. I use Twitter for commentary about current events and to promote my written work. If more people read my actual work instead of assuming the occasional tweets of mine they see are my work, I think the perspective about me among some groups would be different. So, what can we take away from this? I would say for those that are maybe truly diehard Trump supporters or Elon Musk supporters, you got to take the criticism. You have to take the criticism, take the constructive criticism. Not everyone's going to be fawning over Trump and Elon. Now, to be clear, Whitney Webb has been consistent, at least in my opinion, in regards to her work and calling out the corruption and the conspiracy theories and the secrets and the lies that are being played upon us. I've had the opportunity and privilege to interview her, and that was a wonderful interview, even though I know for a fact that if it were to be posted on the YouTubes, it would not play out well. That's the safe thing to say about that. But besides that, folks, we also have another thing to address. And that is, if you're so confident in your side, debate Whitney Webb. Hell, I'll be more happy to moderate a debate between any opposition groups. More than happy to. But if you're so confident in your perspective, if you think Whitney Webb is wrong, debate her. Challenge her. Go on a program. You go on a Hard Lens Media or INN or Do Dissidents or Jimmy Dore Show. Have the debate. Have the conversation. Set up a time and location. If you're so confident in your words, do it. It's one thing to be brave behind a keyboard. It's another thing altogether to go toe-to-toe, online or in person, and share your opinions. Let's do it while we still can, because the jackboot of censorship is encroaching closer and closer to us every single day. And that is a concern that all of us should have across the political spectrum. I'm not looking for anyone from Washington, D.C. to help us because they never have. When's the last time anyone in the Democrat Party or Republican Party had the best interest of the American people? We're being led into wars. We're bailing out banks. We're bailing out corporations. Our infrastructure is falling apart. California is once again on fire. Again, you may not know this, but again, it's happening again. California is once again on fire. I don't put my stock in politicians or billionaires to save the day. They're going to be okay. They got their get out of free jail card. They got a safe place to live. The rest of us are on our own. And no, I'm not a doomer. I actually hold on to hope. I believe in a better future. But if you're going to be debating somebody like Whitney Webb, if you're going to be going after her, facts, not opinions. And if you are really confident in your perspective, debate her or don't do anything at all.